What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Carson's IH Garage. It's a hot day out today, so thankfully I'm in the shop. And I'm going to do this as a little bit of an update video today. Got some stuff going on outside, so don't mind the background noise when you hear it. But I just want to share some updates with you about what I've done to the Scout, both off camera, a little bit on, and what videos I have kind of in progress for you guys. And this is going to go out fairly quickly than anything else that I'd be waiting on parts for. So okay, first big thing I've done off camera, rebuilt the rear end. Not only that, put new brake lines in the rear, and not only that, brand new Bilstein shocks and springs from IH America. I also rebuilt the back brakes, painted everything up here, so it's pretty much all brand new back here, including new tires and hubcaps. Picked the hubcaps up off Craigslist for $175 for the pair, for the set of 4. They're really nice condition. None of them are really dented. And then I got brand new 235 75R15 BF Goodrich tires, Town Fair tire. Last set in the country, may I add. That was a pain trying to find the third tire. Same with the CPT suspension up front. Highly recommend the kit. And so there's that, wheels and tires, stuff like that. And after doing some reading and whatnot, I would like to change my oil today, so you'll see that. And I'm going to be running 1030 synthetic, and I'm going to put in an oil additive. I'm going to use Lucas ZDDP Plus, which is good for old cars like this that have hydraulic flat tappet cams, and that allows them to stay lubricated, which sounds kind of funny because it's a metal, but it adds a protective layer to your camshaft. So we're going to do that today, and I'll kind of show you what that involves. See, I changed this oil back when I got the vehicle 6 months ago. It's probably got a total of like me running the car just in my driveway for 15 minutes, and it's already sludgy. I mean, when I drained it out, it was gross. This isn't much better. I mean, it's still got definitely viscosity to it. It's not broken down at all. It's as good as I put it in. It's just dirty, and I want to drive this thing with a fresh thing of oil in it. I'm just looking to flush all this crap out, and I think I did a pretty good job with that because it's not super dark. So I thought was now I could put the additive in it and run it. And you know, the additive is cheap anyway. It's not like I'm breaking the bank by throwing in all the things, like all the snake oil products I could find. But I believe in the Lucas stuff, and I think it'll do some good for this cam. So I'm just gonna kind of let that drain out for a good while, and we'll jump over to the oil filter, which is the other triple homicide oil change that has to occur. So I'm gonna get the socket for that, and you'll get to watch that. It's fun. It's really uncomfortable under here, in case you didn't realize. So I'm gonna wipe that. Wipe it a little better after. And I'll grab my oil drain plug. And oh, come on, yep, drop it on the dirty concrete floor. Put all those nice contaminants in your motor. It's good. I made big oil drains on these things. Like they're really, there's no wasting time when it comes to this oil change. Alright, that's good. My creeper thing is caught on the rag. There we go. Oh, that's it. Put it all in the oil pan. Okay. Wipe the axle. As it got there too. When I realized I didn't take the little air bleed plug out when I first was draining into the pan, because it wasn't going down, and I was like, oh god, it's gonna overflow. So it almost did. So there was a mini crisis averted. I'm gonna just snug this down. Gonna kind of go till it just kind of feels right, like my oil is not gonna leak out when I'm driving down the road, but you know, not too tight to where you're shearing the pan off. Still have to grab the socket, but I'm not looking forward to this. I hate doing this. It's annoying. Alright, move the pan over. This always makes a mess. I've got a scheme here, so I'm gonna put the socket on the ratchet like that, and I'm gonna loosen it, and as soon as oil kind of like starts coming out at a reasonable rate, I'm just gonna stop. Just gonna like kind of let it drain, because this by itself with the filter in it holds about a quart or so. So I'm gonna try and break it loose. It's gonna be kind of tough here. Yeah. What can I do here? If I can go. Yeah, kind of. Alright, stand by. Come on. This is really a two-handed affair, but you know, holding the camera, keeping things low budget as possible. There we go. Okay. So just until it kind of starts leaking out, which might never happen. Oh, there we go. Okay. I figured it would kind of come out of the bolt hole, but it makes sense it would drop at the seal. And what's annoying about these is the oil slowly will drip down to the edge of the can. So now you've literally coated the whole can with. I like the can thing. It's easy. Obviously, spin-off oil filter would be ideal, but I kind of enjoy doing this. Not gonna lie. So I'm gonna let that drain, and then I'll pull the filter out, and we'll throw in a new one, clean the can and everything, put her all back together, and then sauce it up. Alright, so got the oil filter in the can out. That's draining. I'll show you that later, what it looks like, but I'll also show you on the new one, so that's what I'll do. And I got a little awl tool here, a little pokey, stabby thing, and I'm just fishing this old seal out. They give you one of them. Actually, they give you a couple of them in the new oil filter that you buy. I bought a Napa Gold filter, which is just a Wix filter. Only it's rebranded for Napa. And they give you a new one of these seals, and this one was new when I got it. And now it's used, so that can go in the bucket. And then there's like all this like buildup of like sludge and stuff that I'm gonna like kind of scrape away, because I didn't do that last time. I'm not gonna produce any metal shavings, just kind of going light and doing it. So yeah, just to clean it up a bit. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll show you the new filter, and I'll show you how to install it. Kind of finicky, but you get used to it. Okay, so in your box, your Napa filter, you get the filter. And not only that, you also get seals. Now there's one seal in here that fits, and there's another one here that they include that's a little different. I know the one with the groove in it, and the one that's supposed to have a groove, or the one that ends up having a groove once you put the can on, is the thicker one. I think is probably for like the 196 or the 304 engines that International offers, or offered back in the day. But we have a thinner one. So what you want to do is you want to make sure your groove is completely clean, and everything like that, free of just junk and whatever. It should be from the last one, but make sure your old seal, you pull that out and none of it sticks in there, especially if it's old, because that will cause leaks. So all I'm gonna do is just kind of push the seal in there, and it'll automatically just kind of line itself up. And there's no like direction to it, so just do that basically. And so now that that's in, I'm gonna pull out, sit up, and then I'm gonna clean the can out, wipe it down, we'll load the filter in there with the bolt and everything, and then I'll insert it. So I'll show you how to load the filter. I got my filter here, in case you're curious, part number 1156. I have the 152 engine, and I'm guessing this also works in the 196 304s and other engines, but I cleaned my can out, and I have my oil filter here. It's a big filter, and so what you want to do is take that rubber grommet, face it down like that, drop it in, easy enough. Then flip it over, take your bolt there and put the bolt in the end. So there you go, there's the bolt, that's in, and that'll kind of stay in place with the grommet. And then it's got this little felt gasket, you don't want to damage that. And you also want to make sure this little sealing edge that meets that seal is nice and clean, so I'll give that one final wipe before I put that in, and then it's on to the more comfortable things like actually dumping the oil in so we can complete this change. Okay, so can is on. You don't have to go crazy tight on it because you still have the rubber O-ring, and you don't want to like compress that to the point where it's like spreading out and splitting out the side of the can, but just snug enough to where you know it's not going to leak, and you feel good about driving down the road with it. So now let's move to putting the sauce in. Here I have only the finest blend of Castrol Edge. It's got all these claims on it, whatever, some Spanish. I just saw a 10W30 Advanced Full Synthetic, and then whatever that thing is there, couldn't tell you, but it looked cool. Came in a black bottle, and it's what I need, so that's what we're gonna use. Makes sense, right? So I'm gonna dump like half this in, and then we'll chuck in the additive, which I'll show you in a second, and then we'll finish filling it up till she's full. I kind of made like a joke off camera to myself, like, who needs funnels, just gonna pour it. Yeah, that was rough. Got it on the hose there. It's dripping down the sides. It's on top of the diff down there, and pretty soon it's already reaching the floor. So now I'm gonna clean that up. Alright, I've got enough oil in there to mix. So now, the additive. This is Lucas TB Zinc Plus Racing ZDDP Engine Break-In Oil Additive. So this is for hot rods, classic cars, and race engines. And it says 1 bottle initial break in order for valve train protection, meaning your cam, lifters, push rods, rocker arms, and valve guides. They say 1 bottle with each oil change. So I'm just gonna pop the cap off and put in the whole thing, I guess. I already took the little protective seal off of it. Let's see. I don't want to smell it. Hold on. Oh God, that smells like, if you ever had like car keys in your mouth or like house keys. It smells kind of, or like the taste of them is kind of how this smells. So we're just gonna go for the dump like that. Let her drain. Gonna have some pizza from last night. Let's see how we're doing. Oh yeah, I'll let it drain to get all those additives in there, and then I'll top it off and we'll check the level. So it looks like after adding in the oil and the additive, I used about 3 quarts out of the 5 in that bottle there. So because I probably spilled half a quart in total. It was ugly. I don't usually do that. I'm ashamed of myself. But anyway, 2 quarts left pretty much if I didn't spill that half quart, plus the additives. So that means it's a 4 quart oil change, basically. Yeah, it's a 4 quart oil change because basically add that to the thing. So it's a 4 quart oil change, and I put in like an extra half a quart of that oil, or it's a little half overfull. And that's just good. You know, they say it's not good to overfill your oil, but when it brings all the oil up to the top end, you still want to have stuff down below. And I've been able to pull like 50 pounds oil pressure with that same amount of oil that I put in there, like I had previously. So it's up to you. Run straight forward. Just last thing I wanted to share with you guys is I was able to pick up an original, or it's not original, but a reprinted factory service manual. I bought this off Craigslist for $36, and the guy shipped it to me. It was super nice of him. And the reason I wanted this is because if you flip through it, it's got information about everything. Like right here's the clutch, It tells you how to, it gives you diagrams, tells you how to remove it. And what I'm working on currently, which is the steering box, and you'll see that in an upcoming video. So I can grab the page here. This is before the transmission. There it is. So it gives you these nice photos, tells you everything that's going on. On the page before this, you got a blowout diagram, and it shows you where the bearings go, little snap rings, all the little rollers for the little thing there. It gives you all the technical names, the lever shaft, this, that. And although it doesn't give you part numbers to look up online so you could rebuild them, there's an accompanying book that does do that. But I'm super happy with this because it lets you take a look at the job that you intend on doing and see how involved it gets. And it's also just good to have too. I've used it a lot already and stuff I've done here and there off camera. So if you have a Scout, I recommend picking up this manual. It's for those models there, so 61 through 71. And if you can find them this cheap, then it's great to have. So that's all for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care. Stay safe.